Since 1998, I've lived in 6 different cities and 14 different rental properties. Certainly felt like a lot of moving around. So my wife and I decided, since we are starting our family and the housing market is good, now's a good time to buy a house. After weighing our options, we decided to go with a custom builder. So on Tuesdays over the next several weeks, we're going to give you some tips and insight into building a home in a new series we're calling Home Building 101. Over the course of the next month and a half, we're going to show you what it takes to build your own dream house. It's going to be really fun and informative. To help us out, we have builder Brian Robertson from Rowe Robertson Construction. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. How you doing? Good to see you.
And you know, Brian is pretty special because he's working on a very, very important project.
The most important one ever.
The most important one ever, which is my house, our first house ever. We're really excited. What are we looking at behind us here, Brian?
Well, this is your lot. You're going to have footings with steel and rebar tying all the blocks and slabs and all together in a couple of days.
Yeah, and that's the really cool thing about what we're doing here is I thought it'd be kind of fun to show folks the process of our house going up as we give them some information along the way. And speaking of which, that's the first thing we're talking about today, how to choose a lot. What are some tips on how to choose a lot, Brian?
Well, we're going to try to make them real quick. Your best thing is location, price, and can the house you want fit on it.
All right, so we're going to talk about all those things. Let's get started and go around and look at some different lots.
Sounds like a good idea.
Now, Brian, you mentioned location is the most important thing, but once you choose that location, the land on the location makes a huge difference. This is an example of a lot that's not so great. Tell us why.
Well, what you got here, first off, you got lots of trees.
Okay.
That adds money. Trees are great if you want to cover your house, but to clear them to where your house needs to be, you got lots of work clearing the trees. It falls really bad. It's hard to see. It falls really bad from the street back to the back. It's got a lot of slope, a lot of work in foundation, and there's a lot of water flow that just comes through there. Some of the water might bleed out of the hill.
So to recap there, the reason that the trees are bad is because you have to clear it. And that, if you like it, that's fine, but you will have to spend some extra money.
Yes, yes.
All right, and then the wetlands, that causes the foundation to be bad, so there's some extra work and more extra money involved at that point as well.
Yeah, and if you actually have actual delineated wetlands, you can't even touch them.
Okay.
Because, you know, there's squirrels and turtles and indigo snakes that live in there.
And you know, that's the tricky thing because some of these lots that are for sale, some of those are on land with some wetlands on it.
Yes, they are.
So you got to do, like you said, your due diligence on that to check it out. Let's go take a look at a good lot.
See, Joe, this is a great lot. It's already really flat. It's already cleared. The developer has even already started a little dirt pad, so that'll even save you a little money.
Yeah, so other than negotiating the actual price of the lot, in addition to that, you really won't have any fees because it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
One other thing I want to ask you about, as I walk around, I see different things like power converters and fire hydrants and things like that, and some people may think they're an eyesore, but what you're saying is they actually may be beneficial to your lot.
Oh, definitely, definitely. You know, you got a fire plug on. I believe that the insurance will give you a little break if you've got a fire hydrant right there close by your house. Down here, we got hurricanes so bad, so the underground power, that's what those phone pads and those electrical converters are. They keep you from trees knocking down your power lines, so it's a good thing down here.
Last thing, Brian, in terms of how much your lot is worth, is it better to try to build, I hear, like corner lots or cul-de-sacs, things like that? Does that increase the value of your lot?
Corner lots and cul-de-sac lots, cul-de-sacs mainly, are usually a little more desirable because you don't want through traffic and all. From a design standpoint, I'd much rather have a nice rectangular lot. There's straight lines we can fit a house really easy in on. You know, like your lot is a big pie, and you know, we had to kind of twist your house to get it in there like we wanted to.
Well, Brian, like I said, we're just really excited to get this thing started, and we thought it'd just be kind of cool to not only be informative, but show them our house going up as we talk about this thing.
Well, hey, I'm ready for you to get started too. Matter of fact, there's going to be a concrete truck right now coming down that road.
We got the concrete truck, we got Sam over there, and the guys working on the water line, so everything is coming together. We talked about the steps. The first step can be choosing your lot, which we talked about today, or it can be designing your floor plan. We're going to talk about that next week.
Yeah, next week we'll talk about it because you don't want your house to not fit in with the neighborhood. You know, you don't want to be the sore thumb, and you don't want to be the big dog. You don't want your big house to be bringing the 2 little houses next door to you up. So you want to make it kind of fit in where it's going and see the design and the size of it.
Designing your floor plan next week here on Studio 10. Thanks a lot, Brian.
Thank you.
Can't wait for our house to get done. So exciting. We're going to have a lot of fun and give you great tips along the way. Now, speaking of which, if you have any questions or want more info on buying or building a custom home, you can call Brian with Roe Robertson Construction. His number is on the screen. You'll also find it and his email on our webpage, studio10@fox10tv.com.